Hello everyone, it's Mr. Spinelli. Today we're going to talk about finding the volume of a sphere. Now a sphere is a three-dimensional shape. It's essentially like a circle, only in 3D. And the formula is given by 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. You may also see this written as 4/3 times pi r cubed. So we are multiplying the radius of a sphere times itself 3 times r cubed, and then that result gets multiplied by 4 pi over 3. So let's take a look at a few examples. So in this first one, first thing we have to notice is that we're given a diameter. So the diameter is equal to 10, which means we have to divide that result by 2 to get the radius, which is 5 centimeters. So then for volume, I'm simply going to do 4 times pi times that radius of 5 to the third, and then divide all of that by 3. And when I type that into my calculator, I should get 523.60 centimeters cubed. So volume has units cubed. Now the next one, I'm explicitly given my radius is 11, so I'm going to do 4 times pi times 11 cubed all over 3, and that will give me 5,575.28 inches cubed. Now, if you do these differently, you may do 5 cubed, which is 125 times 4, is 250, 500. So this could also be written as 500 pi over 3 if you want to be more exact. And then the following one could be written as 11 cubed times 4 divided by 3 is, as a fraction, 5,324 pi over 3 if you want to be exact. But otherwise these decimal expressions are equivalent, or thereabouts, they're approximate. So now we've got somewhere we got to work backwards. We're given the volume and we want to find the radius. So the first thing we always do when we do these backwards problems is we need to write out the formula for volume. So I'm going to write that volume equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. Now I'm going to replace V with what the volume is. So I'm going to write 3,053 and 63 hundredths equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. So then I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So I do 353.63 times 3 in my calculator, and I get 9,160.89, and that equals 4 pi r cubed. Now I'm going to divide that result by the 4, because I want to get rid of the 4, but I'm also going to divide it by pi. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi. Now in your calculator you want to make sure you divide by 4 pi in parentheses, and when you do that on the other side, the 4 pi over 4 pi just reduces to 1, so I get about 729 on the left equals r cubed. Now to get rid of a cube, I have to do what's called the cubed root. So I'm going to do the cubed root of both sides. And when I cube root r cubed, I just get r. Now the catch here, you might have to type this in your calculator differently, depending on what kind of calculator you've got. I'm going to write 729, and then I'm going to put a caret in my calculator, parentheses 1 divided by 3. And you may not have to do this just like this. You might have a newer calculator, and you can do 729 to the 1/3. And if you do that, you should get 9. And my units were yard cubed for volume, so my units for radius are yards. So let's take a look at this next one. So I'm going to replace volume with 904.78. That has to equal 4 pi r cubed over 3. So ultimately I want to get rid of the 4 pi over 3. So I'm going to do all the steps in one. Not all of them. I'm going to split it into 2 steps. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi over 3. And I'm going to make sure I put that in parentheses to remind me that when I type that in my calculator. So I'm literally going to type 904.78 divided by parentheses 4 pi divided by 3. and that gives me about 216. Now I've got to take the cubed root, so r is going to be the cubed root of 216, which is the same thing as 216 to the 1/3, and you should get a value of 6 meters. So I hope you practice this stuff, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Have a great day.